Hello, everybody.
Blog
This
Talk
is Mary.
Like,
Fine.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me, oh, stand by me, oh, stand now. Stand by me, stand by me. By me, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Whoa, stand.
Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. This is Mary with BUneke Unscripted, and I have with me Jennifer.
hello.
And we are waiting for Carrick Felix to join us. He should be in any minute. He was driving just a few moments ago when I talked to him, and as soon as he gets an opportunity, he will give us a call. And I just got a text message from Dan Schaub, who is one of our writers with BUneke. He told me that he spoke with Carrick earlier today and got some great material for a story. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to believe this young man. He was an All-Pac-12, and I'm not sure what that means, basketball star at Arizona State University. He earned a master's degree in communications, and he was drafted into the NBA by the Cleveland Cavaliers. So, he's pretty smart, he's pretty athletic, he's pretty good looking too. But he had a crippling knee injury that sidelined him for a while. And in 2017, after a grueling rehabilitation, I don't know how long he was involved in that, he actually made the cut to play for the Washington Wizards. But, you know, we didn't intend to talk to Carrick about sports, although we might have to squeeze that in if he shows up. Meanwhile, Jennifer, I think it's you and me.
It is.
What shall we talk about?
Well, you know, it's funny when you get all prepared and you think you're going to do something in particular, and then you're forced to have to talk about something, your brain just kind of goes blank. Have you noticed that?
I did. And I know that it's called BUneke Unscripted, and we're supposed to not have a script. And typically, you and I don't have any problem talking about anything. And I think we can do that. We can do that now because I don't know if our listeners realize this or not, but you and I often get together and talk about things that are going on in the world, things that are going on with Peace Corps, which is our parent organization, the nonprofit that started this whole thing. And I know that Lynn, who was with me a few months ago on one of Yvonne Mason's Off the Chain shows, she is one of our founders. She and I were on Yvonne's show when you were in Seattle, I believe, and Alaska. So now that you and I are together, Miss Lynn is in Manhattan on Broadway, actually, with her son, watching King Kong the musical. Who would have thought that they would think
she said spectacular. At least what she sent us during intermission, she said that it's spectacular. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but I didn't
think that's amazing.
I didn't see great.
Next time we have a show, though, I think I have to go somewhere.
That's probably what's going to happen because that's usually the trick.
Actually, that is going to happen. Actually, in March,
I do know
I'm
one thing I would like to talk about before Carrick gets here is we were kind of talking a little bit beforehand about. Is he here?
Carrick. Yeah, well, he called in and was rejected. Yvonne, what do we do?
Tell him to call in to 516-387-1756. He might have dialed the wrong number.
Right, give me that number again, 25.
No, 516-387-1756.
Oh, I probably transposed the number. I just put it 1756. 527-387-1756.
No. 516-387.
My fault. This is all my fault. 516-387-1756.
Correct. It's okay. That's why the master show is called Off the Chain. Anything can happen, and usually does.
Yep.
No biggie.
It's like the story of my life.
Yep. I gave him the wrong number. I gave him the wrong number, and it has been that I've had a Monday all day long. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the show Office Space. But there's a scene in there where a woman's having a really bad day, and the guy says, "Are you having a case of the Mondays?" Well, I've had a Monday all day long.
That's all good. It's ladies and gentlemen, this is their first show, and they are learning, and that's okay. I remember my first show 3 years ago, so it'll all be fine. We just roll with it. And there he is. Hold on a minute, ladies. Hold on. Carrick, is this you?
Yes, it is.
Hi, welcome to the show. All right, ladies, take it away.
You?
I apologize. I gave you a wrong number.
That's okay.
I think I had a little dyslexic moment there. I'm not sure what happened, but I typed in the wrong number. But welcome. We're so glad that you're here. And I understand you talked to our writer, Daniel, today.
Yes. And I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I mean, Daniel was awesome to kind of talk to.
He is amazing. He's listening in. And now that he's got our number, he can probably dial in if he wanted
Daniel?
to. Yeah, we've asked people to text in on Twitter and Facebook if they have any questions. So we'll just have to keep checking that and see if anybody's bothering to listen to us. Jennifer and I are just so happy to have you. I was explaining to the audience, because we're kind of borrowing Yvonne's audience right now. She has over 250,000 listeners, I think. But it was explaining how you were, but maybe you can explain to me, because I don't even know. I wrote this down and I have no idea. What is an All-Pac-12 basketball star? What does that mean?
What was that? I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you. What was that?
All-Pac-12?
All Pac-12. It's I played in the Pac-12 conference. It's a conference, so it's the conference with a couple schools out here in the West Coast. I went to school at Arizona State and played basketball there, and it was just an award that I got for just achieving some basketball stuff. Nothing crazy.
Well, I'm in awe because I can't even type in the correct phone number, and I know that you were an at-risk student when you were younger, and you got a master's degree in communication, so I figured you'll be easy to talk with. And I mean, you got a lot going on that I'm in awe of. But would you be interested in telling us a little bit about how you prevailed through being bullied to become an inspirational speaker?
You know, it's kind of just been a part of my life ever since I can remember. You know, growing up, I didn't really have the best, as you can say, household and upbringing, and I was bullied at a young age and told that I wouldn't be able to accomplish certain tasks like graduating high school, graduating college, and even just finding a job. So, you know, over the years, I've just realized, you know, that with every thing I've been through and every lesson, you know, there's a blessing in it. And it's just something that for me, it just comes easy. You know, I love impacting people. I love seeing people being able to accomplish their goals and being able to reach their full potentials and unleash their greatness. And I've just been able to kind of leave the sport of basketball and be able to do that. And it's just been a blessing because it impacts my life. But, you know, I'm happy that I get the chance to impact people's lives through the lessons I've learned in my life and, you know, help them find the best version of themselves.
Do you
That's
think
pretty
that
awesome.
This is Jennifer, by the way. It's really nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too.
I you know, when I hear stories about people that have had to endure a lot of really rough beginnings, it's almost like you become a strong person because you've had to deal with it. Now, I did see you have a mom who's really supportive. Can you tell us about her influence?
My mom, yes. My mom is like she's like my heartbeat. You know, without her, my mom's my heartbeat, and you know, my daughter's my life. So, but before I talk about my daughter, I talk about my mom. My mom, you know, she's she's just, you know, for her personally, she's just been through a lot in her life, and to see a woman like my mom battle through the adversities and go through the things that she's gone through, and just her resilience and her just being so strong. I mean, it's almost like she just has superpowers. It enables me to just know that no matter what I do, that I'm gonna be okay. And she's taught me to hold my head up high and believe in anything and everything and know that I can accomplish anything. And she's been kind of like that, kind of my guide to all this and pushing me forward and just allowing me to be myself. And I think, you know, nowadays you see a lot more parents doing it, but, you know, I'm blessed to have a mom that didn't push me to do things that I didn't want to do. And I'm blessed to have a mom to understand that I was gifted and that I was special, and she attended to me as needed and allowed me to explore my different talents and gifts. So I'm just so thankful to have just such a strong woman in my life, and just have her just continue to just guide me. So,
yay, mom! all us moms out.
Wasn't your mom? Wasn't she a basketball coach when you were a short little kid?
No. So I wish. No, my mom. When she was younger, she played volleyball. She was a very, very good volleyball player in the state of Texas. But as she got older and had kids, she kind of stepped away from the sports world. And she was just a mom. She raised us, and it's crazy because again I talk about my upbringing, and my mom, she doesn't have a high school education, but she's a very smart lady, very beautiful, very driven, and she just gets stuff done. And she just raised me and my two brothers to be great men and just good examples. So, she really didn't teach me too much about, basketball, but she taught me a lot about life.
That's what mamas do.
Yeah.
And that is, that's really, I'm sure she is so proud to see what you've done with your life.
Yeah, no, she definitely is, for sure.
Would you do us a favor, just coming from you, because Mary gave a little bit of a rundown before we got you on, but can you kind of give us a timeline of just some of the experiences you've gone through?
Yeah. Where do I start? I can start from a young age and kind of just trickle down. At the beginning of my life, I didn't. I like everybody else. I had a mom, dad, two brothers, had a family. I was in a military family, so I traveled all across the states and moved all the time. And at a young age, I experienced. I talked about the bullying and the stuff with the teachers, and I remember, in second grade, one of my teachers had called me, stupid, and I didn't realize the effect that it had on me until kind of later in progression of my life. And when it came to me applying myself to work and really, digging in and then getting my stuff done. And so I didn't really realize how much it affected me then, but not just only that, just with the education part and being in special ed from pretty much fifth grade all the way through high school, I had to deal with things at home as well. I didn't have the perfect family, as you can say. I had a dad who was an alcoholic who physically and mentally abused my mom consistently, and it was around 2006 where I had to I unfortunately had saw my father cheating on my mom with another woman, and I had to kind of break the news to my mom, but easy. Yeah, no. It was a daunting day. It was very eerie, and for a young kid, high school kid, to have to go tell the woman they love, like, hey, my father, the man you love, is with someone else. I think that was a hard thing for me because my mom, that's all she knew. She left Texas and she left high school to be with this man for over 20 plus years, and that's all she really knew. So just breaking that news to her in 2006, it was hard because I had to pick her up, and she collapsed to the floor, and it was a hard, very, very hard time for her to kind of break through, and she's dealing with some of the stuff she was dealing with mentally. My mom's she's a pretty sick lady, and she's had breast cancer and dealt with MS, and has dealt with tumors and different types of surgeries on her stomach and things like that. So just to see the toll that it took on her at that point in my life, it was tough. It was tough as a kid to grow up and really try to figure out how to become a man without a father. And so it's definitely hard, but like I said, I'm blessed that my mom was there to kind of well, we were there to pick up my mom, but my mom was able to hold it up, hold strong enough to be able to guide us in the right direction. And me and my brothers were the first to graduate from college in our family, and we've been able to do things the right way. So it's been a journey, but from there, we fast forward to kind of college, my college career, and even high school. I had a 1.3 GPA in high school. We ended up graduating, go to junior college first because I didn't have the grades to go to a 4-year school. After I finished junior college, I was the first player ever in basketball history to sign to the Duke University, to Duke University. So that was something very special. Just working hard, and then that didn't work out too well. And then I ended up going to Arizona State, and throughout my college career, I had my ups and downs, but I definitely, even though I was successful and I did experience, some great accolades, I also experienced, great adversity at the same time. I was a kid in I was a kid in college who, got distracted with the girls and the drinking and dabbled in things I shouldn't have been dabbling in, and lost focus and lost, kind of my sense of purpose. And, I kind of was down on myself a little bit, and there was a lot of other things going on that kind of triggered that effect. And, it was about my junior year of college where, I was having a child. I was having a child, and, at this time I don't come from a family that has money, and unfortunately I didn't have the means to, kind of support myself and support the mother of my daughter as well as have a child. So long story short, I ended up being homeless. I was living in my car and just trying to go through life with a smile as best as I can, and I was hiding it a lot from individuals and people, and
so
which
people
made it.
What situation you were in?
Yeah, just the situation I was in. I was hiding it in college a lot because in college I was a good player. I was considered what most would say a college star. And a lot of people see what's happening on the outside and see all the accolades and the good things that are happening, but they don't see everything that's happening. They don't see everything that's happening behind the closed doors. And I'm human. I'm just like everybody else. So I was going through things. I was going through dealing with habits and just different addictions and so on and so forth that I had to fight through and battle through. And then luckily, I remember this moment like it was yesterday. I was able to I played one of the best games I've ever played in my college career. After the game, they grabbed me, got an interview, and everything was fine. I did the interview, and after the interview, I ended up going home, and I kind of watched the game on TV, and then I watched the interview, and I looked at myself, and I was just like, man, like, who is that guy? Like, I had to have bags under my eyes. I didn't recognize myself. Yeah, and I was just like, man, like, I didn't really remember even the game, like, to really enjoy it and take it in as a memory. And then, even after that game was a life-changing moment for me because it got to the point where, after I got the interview done, I got dressed, and I was walking down the tunnel with my mom, and we walk outside, and we were walking to my car at the time, and at this point, no one knows anything that's going on. So, I'm still trying to play it cool, and one of my assistant coaches, Coach Dedrick Taylor, came outside, and he ran after me and was like, hey, let me talk to you for a second. I was like, all right, that's fine. And, he's talking to me, and as he's talking to me, he just puts his hand on my shoulder and just tells me it's okay. And I'm just like, I'm a college kid. I'm just like, what are you talking about? It's okay. Like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go home. What are you talking about? It's okay. I just had one of the best games I've ever had in my college career. So, yeah, I know it's okay. And then he just kept saying, like, hey, yeah, I know. So, but then he kept saying, like, hey, it's okay. Like, I know something's going on. I can see it. and
God
you just have to so you just have to let go. And as soon as he said that, I don't know what happened, but I literally just broke down in the parking lot in tears, basically to my knees, and kind of just let him know everything that was going on, just off the court, living situation, family situation, and that I was having a child. And that was the first time, like my mom as well, got the notion that I was about to be a dad. So that was kind of a life-changing moment for me in college. But it helped me become the person I am today. And, you know, without having my daughter at that time, I don't think I would have gotten to where I've gotten to and be where I'm at today, because she's probably the biggest motivation, not the only motivation in my life. And, you know, I love her to death, and she's my everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's my everything. Yeah, but I was able to again. Yeah, so I was able to. What was that?
How old is she now?
So she's 6 now. She just turned 6 last July. Yeah, just turned 6 last July.
She's a big schoolgirl now.
Yeah, she's a big schoolgirl now. She definitely is. Yeah. She definitely is a lot older than 6 years old at times. But all little girls are sassy and have little attitudes early. So I love
and
it.
She probably has daddy wrapped around her finger.
No, yes, she does. 100%. She has me sold. I mean, she's my life. I would love to have another little girl, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, so, you know, after college, you know, I was able to get drafted, and it was a blessing to get drafted, you know, into the NBA draft. And I played a couple of years in the NBA, but I also experienced some adversity in the NBA, and I was, you know, my second year, I ended up breaking my knee in half, going up for a dunk, and, you know, after I broke my knee in half, you know, I was out for about 2.5, 3 years. So, you know, you can only imagine.
Wow.
Making your goals, achieving the highest success that you can in your field, and pretty much having it stripped away from you, having everything just pretty much taken away from you. And that's kind of what happened with me, is that I had everything I've ever wanted, and then it was all taken away. And I didn't really know how to deal with it and deal with what happened, because originally, when I broke my knee, I was only supposed to be out for 6 to 8 months, and then the 6 to 8 months turned into 3 years, and 3 years basically turned into 3 different doctors telling me I would never play again. So it was an eye-opening moment for me. There was a huge time period where I fell into a deep depression, and I didn't really know what to do or what my identity was, because my whole life I've played basketball. That's what I knew. So, you know, I had to kind of figure it out. And, you know, there was one day where I kind of just looked myself in the mirror, and I was like, hey, you know, you can't just keep being like this, man. You can't just keep being in this hotel, you know, in the dark, in this room, you know, just having the self-pity, because you have a beautiful little girl to see. You have a beautiful little girl to show the world to. And, you know, that helped me kind of get out of the rut.
That's
the year
really
and a half
awesome.
Rut. Yeah, year and a half rut I was in, and it allowed me to really open my eyes to life after sports and what I was truly capable of, and living out what I believe is my purpose. You know, I didn't wake up one day saying I wanted to be a motivational speaker and I wanted to, you know, travel the world speaking and teaching. It's just something that just came naturally, and I just felt like it was my calling. And
that is so cool, because one of our questions just came on Facebook. Tim Fox, he's one of the BUneke magazine ambassadors, and he volunteers with us. He had a question about that, and I just love that you pre-answered it. He said, I understand you had challenges through life, and I can appreciate that. What was your breaking point that motivated you to become an inspirational speaker? But you didn't actually have a breaking point. It just kind of naturally progressed that way.
Yeah, it just naturally happened. And honestly, that's kind of how I feel with a lot of things. You know, a lot of people stress over, like, what they're going to do, and a lot of people stress over, you know, what their purpose is and what they're, you know, trying to find something they're passionate about. But I always say, you know, when you sit still in the middle of the storm and just let it pass, then whatever it is that you're seeking, whatever it is that you want, it's right in front of you. You just have to keep doing what you're doing every day and just allow it to kind of form and happen for itself. So
are you sure you're not some kind of guru? That sounds like.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that. I wouldn't consider myself a guru. I'm just blessed. That's all I can say. I'm just blessed, and I've been blessed enough to go through a lot of different situations and circumstances that allowed me to just build this knowledge and be able to just reflect. You know, I spent a lot of time doing self-discovery and reflecting on who I am as a person, and who I want to be as a person, you know, 5 years from now. So
have you put any thought to where you see yourself in 5 to 10 years, or even let's just start with 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
Yeah, no, I put a lot of thought into my 5 to 10 year plan, and you know, I see myself impacting as many lives as I can, and I gave myself a goal. I wanted to impact and change and touch and move over 1 million people within the 5 to 10 year span, and be able to pretty much travel and teach in different countries and on different continents. And whether you're gray, green, blue, black, white, purple, red, speak Mandarin,
that's
Chinese,
the color of my hair.
German. There you go. No matter, you know, the way, shape, or form, you know, I want to be able to touch and impact as many people's lives as I can all over the world. So that's kind of my mission and my goal. And, you know, all I got to do is keep my head down and keep moving, and I know everything, it'll fall into place. So
where can people
I
hear
like
you?
that.
Where can people actually hear you? Do you have a place? Can you tell us where we can? Is there a website we can go to find out more about you?
Yeah. So you can go to my website. It's called imcfamily.com, and the IMC just stands for Inspire, Motivate, and Change. That's kind of my motto. It's to inspire, motivate, and change as many people's lives as I can, by pretty much just helping them self-discover who they are, and also just allowing them to understand that your recipe for success is unique. And I'm willing to sacrifice my time, and I'm willing to sacrifice my life to help you pretty much discover the best version of yourself. That's kind of what IMC kind of stands for. But you can go to imcfamily.com, and you can also check me out on Instagram, which is Carrick Felix on Instagram. And where else is there? Is there anything else? LinkedIn as well. If you guys are on LinkedIn, you can kind of check me out. It's Carrick_Felix as well.
I found you I think on both Instagram and LinkedIn. Are you on Facebook at all?
Oh yes. So you can follow me on Facebook as well. On the page, it's Carrick Felix IMC, or you can just search Inspire, Motivate, and Change, and the page should pop right up.
I love that. Inspire, motivate, and change.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think you are.
Thank you.
Tim Fox is on a roll tonight. He's got more questions for you. Have you got a minute to hear?
Yes.
You would like Tim. He's really cool. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's a very quiet guy, but he's very powerful. He says a world leader speaking about toxic masculinity recently stated, "If you're confident about your strength, you don't need to show me by putting somebody else down. Show me by lifting somebody else up." What is your experience with toxic masculinity? I can't get the word out.
He's true. I mean, a lot of males, and you know, a lot of males do this because we're prideful, and you know, and speaking for males, females, I just talk to people in general. So there's a lot of people in general, you know, when things don't go their way and when life gets hard, like they think the best way to go about things is, you know, pointing the finger or trying to drag somebody else down when they're negative. And what they have to realize is it's just like, you know, by bringing positivity into your life, and for me as a male to embrace and serve other people, that your blessings come a lot faster. Your blessings come, you know, in tenfold. You know, they always say, you know, you give, then take. But a lot of people want to and not give. And I think that's a huge thing. And for guys, you know, you want to talk about males, I think it's a huge thing because we're prideful. We don't want to ask for help. We don't want to be vulnerable because we want to feel like we're strong. And one thing my mom has always told me that's just resonated with my life is just that, you know, a closed mouth will always go unfed. So I always make sure that, you know, if I feel something and if I need help or anything, you know, to ask for it, and not only ask for it, you know, lift others up in the meantime, because it's gonna bring me a lot closer to the end goal.
Right.
Not only that, I get a chance to impact someone's life. I get a chance to change someone's life, not tomorrow but today. And by changing their life now, who knows what that does for them? Who knows what trickle effect? And now maybe they're changing someone's life, you know. And now that maybe they're that person, they changed their life. Maybe now they're touching 4 or 5 different people. So I definitely think that, yeah.
And that's the thing about it, is that so many people, I've heard people say, "Oh, you're just being such a Pollyanna person. You know, you're always thinking about positivity and all this stuff." And the thing is, what people don't understand is that it's such a network. So it's like it's not Pollyanna. It's actually, instead of why live negative, why not do something positive? Why not show people that there's. I'm so tired of not showing hope, and I love your whole story is all about hope. You know, that you can be faced with all the adversity that you've been through, and told no constantly, and I can't even imagine, like, you know, because my family, my 4 kids are all ADD. My husband's ADD, and they've been told all their, well, you know, in the very beginning. I remember my son. They told him that, you know, he needed special education and he was never going to go anywhere. And then they found out when they actually did testing that he had a really high IQ. It was his ADD, you know. I mean, it was something he didn't have any control over. And did you say that you had ADD?
Yeah, no. So when I was a child, they said I had ADD, but same thing. You know, they did my IQ test. You know, there's some places where I had some learning challenges. You know, I had learning challenges with comprehension and reading, but in other places, you know, I scored very high. And the thing about ADD, what people don't realize, it's not really attention deficit disorder. It's just they don't like whatever they're doing. You know, they need to focus. We need to find something. You need to find something that's going to allow them to focus. You need to find something they like to do. And I think that's the biggest thing, because for me, my mom realized at a young age for me that as long as she kept me active and doing creative things and things that I wanted to do, then I could focus. I could focus on basketball and learning plays. I could focus on skateboarding and learning new tricks. And even in school, I had different learning methods. I wasn't a kid who could, read a book and the teacher asked me a question and I'm just like, all right, here's the answer. I'm a visual person. I have to see it. I can see the teacher do a math problem and then then I'll just know it for the rest of my life and I can copy it and, cut, copy, paste and just keep doing it. But if, she tells me to open the book and you write all this stuff down, then it just goes in the ear out the other. But it just, to me, again, it all goes back to your recipe to success. And everyone has their own recipe because everybody's built unique. Everybody's built unique and everyone's special. So it's just finding that out and actually taking the time out to discover that.
Ladies, may I make an interjection here?
Of course.
Yeah. Absolutely, Yvonne.
Just about everybody in my family is ADD or ADHD. And when I researched it for my grandson, what I found out is some of the most prolific people in our history had that uniqueness. Albert Einstein comes to mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bill Clinton is another one. And if you go back and look in history, so Carrick, count yourself among the greats, my friend.
I would say thank you. Not yet. I'm on the road. I'm on the road to continue to try to be great. So.
But you're already great.
You can.
Yes,
there are different degrees of greatness, and we're all on the same journey, I think.
I think he's done a lot in his young year.
Yes.
I mean, he's done you're a young guy. You're like, I think, in the age range of my children. So.
Yeah, I'm 28. I feel old though. So.
I'll tell you what I told my kids when they hit 30. They both called me up one day and said, "Mom, you're the mother of an old man." And I said, "Son, you can't be old until I'm old." And they didn't like that answer. Timothy has another question for you, though. I think we're gonna bring Timothy. We're gonna bring Timothy into all of our BUneke Unscripted because he's got some really great questions. He said, "What do we need to do?" He said, "What do we need to do as a society to counteract the effects on our youth?" It's a follow-up to the toxic masculinity question.
So, to answer that question, I think we need to be more present and just more consistent. I think a lot of what a lot of people are doing now is they're shifting to where the world's shifting, and that's towards technology and the phones and doing stuff like taking the easy route out. And one thing I've realized is if you really look at the youth right now, you'll see that there's a very high, very, very high just change in the depression rate because a lot of these kids are looking at social media, which is giving them what I personally like to call the perfect perception. So now they're comparing themselves. So you have the young girls that are comparing themselves to the Instagram girls that have the filters and the fake noses and the fake butts, and then you have these guys that are looking at people that are making the money quick and not going to school and doing businesses and kind of just, it's almost like they're giving them a facade of what real life is like. And what I've noticed is a lot of kids are getting caught up in that and they're not understanding who they are. So I think to change that with society, like we have to just be more present and consistent in these kids' lives and start getting them to understand earlier, like, hey, you got to start discovering your own identity. I know you want to be, I know you like Beyonce, I know you like the Jay-Z's, but you have to understand that can be you. You have to discover your own identity. You have to discover the things you like, the things you dislike. And I think if we can just do that and just be more present and just build that connection, I think it'll bridge the gap between this, the older generation to the youth and really change their lives so they can again, start changing the world as we go, because they're the people of tomorrow. The youth is
absolutely
is the future, and we have to be very, very, very cautious now of what we're feeding into their heads, because a lot of these kids they're believing it, and the more present we are, the more real we can be, the more vulnerable and open we can be. I think it helps. And I work with kids all the time, and I mentor kids, and just some of the things they say to me, and they talk about self-esteem, they talk about suicide, and they talk about these different things. And when I was young, I didn't really think about this stuff. And so I was talking to a kid probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he was telling me how it was cool to be depressed now, because now you can post it online and people will like your pictures, and now you can post a picture, you look depressed, and say talk about how vulnerable you are, but you post it online, people like the picture. But to me, I was telling them, like, all these people are liking your pictures, right? But when, excuse my language, but when shit hits the fan and you're really down, how many of these people are actually going to be there to really lift you up? So it's just trying to take them away from that perfect perception world and bringing them back to just to reality. That's it, and just be consistent just within their lives.
Oh, I think that's excellent advice.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
I was just going to ask, what is the number one question that kids ask you?
Well, the number one question they ask me is what NBA team I played for. No, I mean, they do ask that question. But the real question they ask is just, how did I discover what I want? How did I discover what I wanted to do? And when I discovered what I wanted to do, what were the steps to get there? And I always tell them it wasn't an easy road. I did a bunch of different things at an early age, but I went after what I loved, and went after what made me happy and made me smile and brought peace to my life. And then when I found that thing, which was basketball at the time, I just tell them every day, that I would wake up in the morning. There'd be days I didn't want to get up. There'd be days that I didn't want to go to practice. There'd be days that I didn't want to eat healthy, and there would be some really bad days, but within those bad days, there were also good times. Just for them to understand, whatever you choose to do in life, understand that road is a long road, but you have to enjoy the process. You got to enjoy the moment and the opportunity, and the opportunity in the moment, and just make sure that every day is a new day. The past is out the door, and you're just looking towards the end road, and you just got to make sure you work hard every day, you do everything you're supposed to do, and when things get hard, you just can't quit. You gotta fight through each and every little bit of adversity. So
exactly. That's great, because a lot of kids, that's the thing, that they feel lost, or they may not be getting the positive attention from their parents. Their parents are busy. They're trying to just make a life, and
exactly.
And so it's great you're willing to step out and show them in so many different ways that they are really special and they can find what they love.
Yeah, and I think it's a big thing too with these kids right now is just that. Excuse me. I think it's a big thing that they like you said, they don't really have the examples. A lot of kids don't grow up with the examples in their life of what it means to know what a value of $1 is, or what it means to be successful, or what it even looks like. So just being able to show these kids, I think it just opens their eyes a little bit, and when I can relate to them a little bit from just my life story, and I can bring other younger individuals around them, I think it allows them to see success early, and earlier at a younger age. So
that's awesome.
The kids that you work with there are basically in Arizona, or you're all over the country?
So I travel and speak all over the country. My programs that I'm running right now, so I travel and speak all over the country. I mentor people from all over, from all the way to Melbourne, Australia. And yes, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. But my programs that I run, which is my IMC growth program, which is like a 9-month program. I run them in Arizona and high schools out in Arizona. And then I do mentorship out of Arizona as well, one-on-one coaching and things. And I also work with college out of California, Cal State Fullerton as well. So it's been an interesting road, but it's been fun.
Do you find that one topic is more prevalent? I mean, I know you talk about leadership, and you mentioned earlier life after sports, but you've got other, like the one I like is finding your why.
Yes, that's probably my favorite topic, because I feel like it's something. It doesn't matter how old you are. I think it's just something that you need to have, because it gets you up in the morning. You know, it gives you that spark. It allows you,
Absolutely, when
you don't want to finish that paper, you know, you want to finish writing that last sentence, it pushes you to write the last sentence. You don't want to lift the, weight or do an extra 2 minutes on the treadmill. It pushes you to do the extra 2 minutes on the treadmill or eat the right food. So that's probably my favorite topic to talk about right now.
If Jennifer and Lynn and I had not gone searching for our why, we wouldn't be talking to you tonight.
That's right.
Honestly, because, it's just the way it worked out. The universe kind of led us together. And I
found yes.
that Carrick has said the word be unique 4 times tonight.
Really? So, you're keeping score?
I love it. that just tells me that he's a be unique guy.
Yes, he is.
That's so funny. Well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
We are so happy that you joined us. You're just a delightful human being, and you're very inspirational.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I mean, I know you guys. I know it's late over there.
It's only 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock is bedtime for me. Now I sound like the old one, huh?
Yeah, but I bet you get up a lot earlier than I do.
One of my questions was, give us a day, give us just a taste of your day, like an average day for you.
Average day. So let's see. I'll just give you a little taste of pretty much today of just what happened. So I got up this morning, 5 o'clock. I do my morning routine: shower, eat, meditate. I didn't go to the gym. I did not go. Yes, meditation is the key. I did not go to the gym today, unfortunately, just because I had a pretty busy day. But so let's see. Starting at 10 o'clock. Starting at 8 o'clock, I start going through emails, kind of getting stuff ready for the programs I run, and then from 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock, I run a program at a high school, and then from there, I jet over to another high school, and I do one-on-one coaching with a couple students, around 45 minutes apiece, and then so that lasts till about like 2:30, 3:30, and then I jet over to another school, and then I run a program, like an after-school program for about 50 to 54 kids, and then that goes for about an hour, and then after that, I usually go home. Like today, I went home, rest for a little bit, and then I ended up just creating some new content, meeting with my video guy. I had 4 different phone call meetings, including this one. 4 different interview meetings, and then yikes. And then to finish off the night, I'm getting ready to actually go to one of my buddies' Bible studies, and then I will be heading home, packing, and then I'll work on some more content, read a little bit, and then I probably will go to sleep. To be honest, I don't really sleep, guys. So I probably will go to sleep around probably 2, 3, and then wake up again at like 5:30.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are running out of time. So, Carrick, would you quickly, in the next couple of minutes, tell everybody where you can be found?
Yeah, so you guys can go ahead and find me on Instagram at Carrick_Felix. That's CARRICK_FELIX on Instagram. You can also check out my website at imcfamily.com. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Carrick Felix IMC, which is being updated, but you can just check out my content on on Instagram, as well as my Facebook page. So.
All right, and Mary and Jennifer, y'all will be on again next month, correct?
Yes, ma'am. And we are scheduled to have
who will be your guest next
Joe Rock from Orlando's WMMO station.
Whoa, that'll be
he's a character.
He's a different caliber, but just as charming as Carrick Felix. Let me tell you.
Oh boy, that'll be a whole lot of fun. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be on. Y'all help me out. March the what?
21st.
Okay. So we will be back with
February.
BUneke and
February is a short month. Yes, ma'am.
Real quick, Mary or Jennifer, tell the folks where they can find the BUneke magazine.
I will.
Sure.
BUneke magazine is online. We also have a print on demand, but I recommend you go to the online version at www.bunecae.org. It is animated and interactive. And
it's absolutely free. So at any time, 24/7, you can hit BUneke.org and you'll find BUneke magazine. We also have a online show, and if anybody wants to see Tim Fox, who sent in some awesome questions.
Oh, yes.
He's on a lot of the different episodes, and so coffee or tea, and all of our social media is at BUneke magazine. So if you type in BUneke magazine on all the platforms, especially YouTube, you will find us. So
and
I'm
also,
really excited.
this show will be linked to that website too as well, correct?
Absolutely.
That's correct.
Okay, now you have about a minute 10 left. Do either one of you three have any short words of wisdom to impart to your listeners?
I would love to hear from Carrick. I think he's
I'll leave it on this note. In life, things happen. We, get stepped on, go through hard times, and sometimes, it doesn't feel like we're getting anywhere. It doesn't feel like we're getting to the end of the tunnel. So if that's you and you feel like that, just know that there's more. Know that you have value. Know that you're beautiful. Know that you're capable of anything. And all you have to continue to do is just push through and push forward, and you can do anything you want. It's just one step at a time. And again, things happen for a reason, a season, and a lifetime, and you just have to continue to follow your path and just see everything out. And I promise you, if you just do the right things every single day and put in the work and put a smile on and bring in positivity, have abundance, and just be grateful, all things are possible.
And with that, Carrick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but they're going to cut us off here shortly. So, Mary, tell the folks one more time.
BUneke BUneke.org. That's BUNEKE.org.
And with that, ladies
on that note,
we tell you good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, ladies.
Thank
I appreciate
you so much, Carrick.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that.
We'll link this once it's up. We will link to you. I'll text you or email you or something, and I'll give you the link to this recording.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And if
Your
you are
mama
in
good.
I'm sending you a hug.
Okay, I'm sending you guys a hug as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed this.
I enjoyed it too. You guys have a good night. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I've already subscribed to him. I'm his first subscriber on YouTube.
All right. Okay. So what I'll do is once we get off of here and this thing archives, I will Mary send you the link. I'll tag you in it on Facebook, and then tomorrow I'll put it up on all the other sites, and I'll send y'all all the other sites so that you can put that up there as well.
That'd be great.
Awesome.
Okay.
I
I'm
love
very proud of you, ladies.
Inspire, motivate, change. Well, thank you. Thank you.
We did
okay. We worked a little bit ahead of time to try to make sure we didn't talk over each other, and I still do. I'm
it's going to happen simply because it is the nature of this beast, but it's all good. And the more y'all do it, the more comfortable you'll get with it, and the more you'll be able to pick up on each other's thoughts without even saying anything.
Right.
I am just delighted that Tim Fox was with us. That was so much fun.
See? Life is good. Now I'm going to get off of here and shut this thing down so that we can get it up in archives.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.